Thundarr the Barbarian, 1980 to 1982. If you were a kid in the 80s, or if you are into the wild mix of magic, sci-fi and adventure, then Thundarr the Barbarian, the cult classic, can be one of your favourites. Created by Steve Gerber, produced by Ruby Spears, the series first ran on the ABC network in 1980. It was set in the year 3994, hundreds of years after a mysterious alien planet shattered the moon and left Earth spiralling into chaos. As a result, a world of mutated monsters, evil wizards, and lost technology emerged in the post-apocalyptic world, alongside fierce heroes. Amidst all of this, a fearless warrior came to be with a glowing sun sword, his ally, Princess Ariel, the sorceress, and Ukla the Mock, the growling beast man, his best friend. The series is special, not only because of its genre mashup, but because of the maker's sheer commitment to imaginative storytelling. Thundarr the Barbarian feels like if Star Wars, Conan the Barbarian, and Planet of the Apes had a baby, and it was brought up by the legendary artistry of Jack Kirby. That's what the series feels like, a wild, imaginative adventure. So let's break down Thundarr the Barbarian, channeling our inner retro spirit in a post-apocalyptic style. If you appreciate our efforts, please like the video and subscribe to our channel for more. Season 1, 1980 to 1981. Episode 1, The Secret of the Black Pearl. The pilot of Thundarr the Barbarian kicks right into the action of a wild, post-apocalyptic world. After a cosmic disaster wrecks the moon, Earth turns into a dusty wasteland filled with old tech and bursts of magic. It's like a mashup of Mad Max and a medieval wizard school. You've got the leftover ruins of skyscrapers with mutants, sorcerers, and malfunctioning machines roaming around. In the middle of this chaos is Thundarr, a tough warrior wielding a sun sword that looks like a supercharged lightsaber. He's all about justice. Alongside him is Princess Ariel, a smart sorceress who knows about the world before it changed, and Ukla the Mock, a huge, loyal beast man who expresses himself with dramatic growls and takes down foes easily. The story starts when they meet Tyron, a wounded traveller on the run from the groundlings, grumpy, rat-like mutants. Tyron has a powerful item called the Black Pearl, which can stop dark magic. He's trying to get it to Manhattan, a city built over the old Manhattan, where a two-faced tyrant named Gemini is in charge. Gemini is a mix of brains and brawn, with one calm face and one crazy face, and he rules with a firm hand along with an army of robots and monstrous minions. When he learns about the Black Pearl, he wants it gone ASAP. Tyron gives the pearl to Thundarr before fainting, leaving the team to face magical traps and mutant attacks. Once they make it to Manhattan, Ariel gets captured, because what would an adventure be without a kidnapping? And Gemini pulls off a wild stunt. He turns the Statue of Liberty into a giant war machine. That's right, Lady Liberty goes on a rampage. While Ariel finds a way to escape, Thundarr and Ukla fight through the chaos and finally take on Gemini in an epic showdown. With the Sun Sword and the Black Pearl, they break his magic and send him packing, tail, metaphorically, tucked between his two faces. Secret of the Black Pearl sets the vibe just right. Magic, madness, mutants, and a team you can't help but cheer for. And let's be real, there's nothing quite like drop-kicking a giant statue. Fun fact, Thundarr the Barbarian was created by comic book legend Jack Kirby, which explains the awesome character designs and dramatic scenes. Episode 2, Harvest of Doom. In Harvest of Doom, Thundarr, Ariel, and Ukla, the Mock, are trudging through a misty swamp. Let's be honest, nothing good ever happens in swamps. They quickly find themselves in trouble with the Karoks, a nasty gang of lizard-like creatures who are enslaving humans and Mocks. Their weapon of choice? Not swords or cool gadgets, but these mind-controlling death flowers. These weird plants release pollen that messes with people's minds, turning them into robots. Flowers that brainwash people? That's pretty scary and a bit wild. This isn't just a small-time gig. The Karoks are cranking out these death flowers in big numbers and moving them in a giant train-like machine. They pack the captives in and take them to work camps where the pollen keeps them in check. When Thundarr jumps in to help, things go south fast. Ukla gets caught and falls under the flower's spell. Watching the normally fierce Mock lose himself is hard to take, but Thundarr and Ariel aren't ready to give up. They meet Tai, a brave swamp kid who's been fighting against the Karoks for a while. She becomes their secret ally, sharing all the details on how the Karoks operate, the flower production, the train, and where they hide out. Tai's got guts and brains, and she definitely stands out. Together with Tai, Thundarr and Ariel launch a bold rescue mission. They sneak through the muddy area, outsmart the Karok guards, and reach Ukla just in time. Ariel uses her magic to wake him up, giving him the chance to break free and get back to his fierce self. Then it's time for the showdown. While Ukla and Thundarr take on the guards, Ariel sets the flower fields ablaze with her spells. The fire spreads fast, smoke fills the air, and the villagers start breaking free from the mind control. As they regain their senses, the Karoks freak out and run off. Tai gets celebrated as a hero and is ready for more adventures in the next episodes. By the way, this was the first episode made in the series despite airing second. That explains why it feels so foundational. Creepy villains, mind control, high stakes, and an amazing team-up moment. Harvest of Doom mixes swampy horror with a fight for freedom, and it really hits the mark. Episode 3, Mindok the Mind Menace. In the third episode of Thundarr the Barbarian, we meet one of the show's standout villains, Mindok the Mind Menace. He was a brilliant scientist before everything went downhill, and he manages to keep just his brain alive in a high-tech capsule, leaving his body behind. He's got General Zoa by his side, a tough mutant warrior who's all in on Mindok's scheme. Together, they lead an army of mutants, digging through ruins for old tech and secrets. Their big goal? To find a group of scientists frozen in time under Cape Canaveral. Mindok wants to wake them up and make them build him a new robotic body so he can be even stronger. When Thundarr, Ariel and Ukla catch wind of Mindok's plan, they jump into action. Ariel warns them about how dangerous Mindok was back in the day and how much worse he could be with a new body. The trio makes their way through tough terrain, battles mutant foes, and avoids traps to get to Mindok's hideout. Despite their best efforts, Mindok revives the old scientists and orders them to make his new robotic body. Thundarr and his friends sneak into the facility, and Ariel uses her magic to mess with Mindok's tech. Meanwhile, Thundarr and Ukla fight against Zoa and her mutant henchmen. There are definitely moments where you're cheering for Thundarr to take out that power source. Just as Mindok is about to transfer into his new body, Ariel's magic overloads the systems, causing chaos. Thundarr manages to destroy the control panel with his sun sword, and Mindok's capsule blasts off into space without him. That's some sweet revenge if you ask me. The rescued scientists thank our heroes and promise to help rebuild society. Thundarr, Ariel and Ukla ride off, knowing Mindok could return, but for now, they've got a bit of safety. Episode 4, Raiders of the Abyss. As the series progresses, Thundarr, Princess Ariel, and Ukla the Mock come across a crazy sight. A massive floating city made from old rusty cruise ships tied together. It's like a unique post-apocalyptic community on water, but this floating paradise doesn't stay calm for long. Enter Morag, the pirate sorcerer. He sails in on ships that look straight out of a nightmare and has a creepy weapon called the Vapors of Life. This magic sucks the life out of anyone nearby, turning them into zombie-like slaves that do Morag's bidding. Not a fun day for sure. Thundarr and Ukla jump in to save the city, but they soon find out the Vapors are a lot stronger than their usual fighting skills. Thundarr even starts feeling the effects. Yikes! Seeing that brute strength isn't enough, Princess Ariel springs into action. She remembers a mysterious wizard known for his forbidden magic and sets off on a dangerous mission to track him down. Ariel finally persuades the wizard to teach her a counterspell to fight the Vapors. Just in time, she makes it back for the big confrontation. When Morag activates the Vapors again, Thundarr's sun sword lights up the scene. With one brave swing, he destroys the source of the Vapors, stopping the evil magic. The villagers break free from Morag's hold, and Ariel's spell helps them recover completely. With Morag's dark magic gone and his crew beaten, the floating city can finally relax. The thankful townsfolk cheer for our heroes, and the episode wraps up with an uplifting message about courage, freedom, and standing up against dark forces. Fun fact, the Sun Sword is magically linked to Thundarr, and as such, only he can use it.
Thundarr! Get him!
Episode 5, Treasure of the Mox. Things take a more personal turn for Thundarr, Ariel, and Ukla as they visit Ukla's hometown in the marshlands. It's nice to see a different side of Ukla, instead of just the tough guy always bashing stuff. Sadly, their hopeful visit quickly turns into chaos when river pirates, led by the cunning Captain Corden, attack the village. Corden came ready for a fight, bringing lots of rafts and war machines. She's on the hunt for a legendary weapon she believes the Mox possess, called the Rainbow of the Mox. However, she's mistaken. They're not weapons, but important cultural artifacts that mean a lot to the Mox. Thundarr jumps into action with his Sunsword, taking down the pirates easily and targeting their heavy cannons to help the villagers fight back. Princess Ariel chips in too, using her magic to protect the people and their treasures. She realizes that the items Corden is after are key parts of Mock culture, not the weapons she thinks. Ukla really steps up, rallying his fellow Mox to defend their home. There's a touching scene when he confronts Corden's pirates near the Sacred Vault. As Corden's team starts to fall apart and lose their firepower, she retreats, swearing revenge but leaving the village and its treasures safe. The episode ends on a high note, celebrating the Mock's strength and the value of understanding your own culture. It serves as a great reminder that honouring your history is not just about looking back. It's a way to protect your dignity and legacy during tough times. Episode 6, Attack of the Amazon Women. In Attack of the Amazon Women, Thundarr, Princess Ariel, and Ukla are wandering through the ruins of the Black Hills in South Dakota. Mount Rushmore is still there, but after the apocalypse, it looks more like Mount Rustmore. As they check things out, they find an Amazon society that has fallen apart due to a messy power grab. The rightful ruler, Queen Diona, is on the run from Stria, a sorceress who looks like she hasn't taken care of herself. Stria has a crew of land sharks, yeah, you heard that right, who are fiercely loyal to her. She's after an old nuclear missile hidden underground, because if you want to rule the wasteland, what better move than a rusty pre-apocalypse nuke? Thundarr and the team see the destruction-burned villages and captured Amazons and realise things have gone south quickly. They find Queen Diona hiding in the woods, looking pretty rough. Ariel goes through some old texts and discovers the missile's countdown is dangerously close to 0. Not a great deadline. Ariel decides to go undercover as a captive Amazon. Keeping calm while doing that? Impressive. Thundarr, on the other hand, is making a lot of noise with his Sunsword, definitely causing some headaches for the mutants. Ukla stealthily sneaks through tunnels like a furry ninja, surprising Stria's guards who are totally not expecting a tiger-like beast to pop out of a manhole. Just when it looks like Stria's missile is about to launch and everyone's doomed, Ariel uses her magic to mess with the controls. Thundarr faces off against Stria in a wild rooftop fight, lightning everywhere, and finishes it off with a perfect swipe of his Sunsword. Stria goes down fast, with the missile stopped and the shark warriors retreating, probably back to wherever land sharks come from. Queen Diona takes back her throne and vows to rebuild. Our heroes leave feeling like they've just survived one of the craziest save-the-world days yet.
Oh, sorcerer! One more.
Episode 7, The Brotherhood of Night. In the ruins of what used to be Washington, D.C., Thundarr, Ariel, and Ukla run into a new danger, the Brotherhood of Night, a tough group of werewolves led by the shady Zevon. This guy isn't your average werewolf. Zevon isn't just stopping at making a hairy army. He wants to recruit Thundarr too, because why not add a barbarian with a Sunsword, right? But he's got bigger plans. He's eyeing the evil wizard Infernus, hoping to mix his werewolf curse with some dark magic to create an unstoppable force. A werewolf-wizard combo? Sounds like a total disaster waiting to happen. As Zevon spreads his curse through the city, more and more villagers turn into his growling followers. But there's hope. Ariel finds out about a magical pool hidden in the old city that can reverse Zevon's curse. Anyone who dips in comes back to their normal self and shakes off his control. In a race against time, Thundarr and his friends fight off the growing pack and try to protect the villagers while heading to the magical waters. Meanwhile, Zevon is getting desperate, and Infernus sees a chance to grab some power for himself but gets stopped by Thundarr just in time. In a big showdown, Thundarr smashes Infernus's magical scepter, taking away his powers and changing the game. With the scepter gone and the villagers back to normal, Zivon starts losing his grip. Without his followers, he slinks back into the shadows. You know you're a failing villain when even the other big bads won't take your calls. As calm settles back in, Thundarr, Ariel, and Ukla head off into the wild again, leaving behind a thankful community. Episode 8, Challenge of the Wizards. Thundarr, Princess Ariel, and Ukla find themselves in the ruins of Las Vegas. Instead of bright lights and casinos, they are surrounded by dust, danger, and a messy fight between wizards. 4 sorcerers, Sholo, Chom, Mazam, and Skorpos, are battling each other for the Helmet of Power. As they stumble into this chaos, the trio would prefer to stay out of this wizard rivalry, but it gets serious when Sholo takes some villagers hostage. He forces Thundarr to help him get the helmet, making it clear he's not a good boss. Left with no choice, Thundarr reluctantly agrees to assist him. Their mission leads them to an ancient vault hidden under the old Las Vegas Strip. This place is loaded with tricky traps and wild illusions that would make any funhouse jealous. As they go deeper, the weirdness and danger ramp up. As they get closer to the helmet, the other wizards show up, each trying to outdo the other. Chom transforms into a gigantic creature. Mazam fills the vault with confusing illusions, and Skorpos throws dark magic around like a child throwing a tantrum. In the mix, Sholo somehow grabs the helmet, making him even more power-hungry than before. But instead of winning, he becomes overwhelmed by the power he wanted to control. Ariel uses her magic to mess with the helmet's energy, while Thundarr jumps into action, dodging energy blasts. With a strong swing of his sunsword, he breaks the helmet, causing a huge explosion that strips the wizards of their powers and sends them running. Episode 9, Valley of the Man Apes. In the San Fernando Valley, which looks like a wreck after the apocalypse, Thundarr, Princess Ariel, and Ukla find themselves in a wild and dangerous mess. The valley is being terrorized by the Man Apes, a gang of smart, muscle-bound mutant gorillas led by Simius, a power-hungry ruler with a flair for theatrics. His big plan? To take back the valley using a massive robot gorilla called the Mighty One. Simius isn't just all talk, he's attacking nearby villages, grabbing terrified people to force them into fixing and powering up this giant mechanical beast. When Thundarr and his friends show up, they see the Mighty One stomping around like it's auditioning for a disaster movie. Thundarr can't stand the idea of mutant gorillas ruling over others, especially by forcing innocent folks into hard labor. Ariel, the brains of the group, figures she'll sneak into the Man Apes' hideout to find out more. She uncovers that the Mighty One runs on a strange mix of old machinery and magic, like a cross between a Radio Shack and a wizard's spellbook. While Ariel does her tech thing, Thundarr and Ukla charge into the camp to create some noise and lure out Simius and his gorilla guards. As things heat up, they unleash the Mighty One. Just when it seems like the situation is about to get really hairy, Ariel strikes and messes with the control system. The giant robot starts malfunctioning. Thundarr seizes the chance to jump in and cuts the control line with his sunsword in a heroic move. With the Mighty One crashing down into a pile of junk and the Man Apes freaking out, Simius is defeated and the villagers are set free. The people come together to take back their valley, thankful to their brave heroes. As usual, Thundarr, Ariel, and Ukla ride off into who knows where. Episode 10, Stalker from the Stars. In the chilly wilds of Alaska, Thundarr, Princess Ariel, and Ukla stumble upon a crashed spaceship near a small village. The spaceship's arrival has unleashed an alien creature that's similar to a vampire, and it's been draining the life out of the villagers. Those who have encountered this menacing being are left looking weak and ghostly pale. The creature is quick to act, and before they know it, it captures Ariel, planning to suck the magic right out of her to boost its own power. The creature takes Ariel to a rundown amusement park, which is now its creepy hideout, covered in alien gadgets mixed in with the remnants of what used to be joyful rides. You wouldn't want to visit this place. It's the last spot you'd expect to find any fun or laughter. Thundarr and Ukla, following the magical energy left by Ariel, decide they must enter this unsettling amusement park. Inside, they discover that many villagers are trapped in glowing pods. It's clear they're not just stuck in there, they're being used by the alien, perhaps to keep it alive or fuel its power. While dodging various traps and odd alien gadgets, Thundarr and Ukla manage to break the villagers free. They finally confront the creature underneath a shattered Ferris wheel. Ariel, using her magic, is able to activate a signal on the spaceship that makes the aliens' hold on the Earth weaker. Seeing their chance, Thundarr charges forward with his sunsword and pushes the creature back toward its ship. At this point, the spaceship powers up and a portal opens, dragging the alien into another dimension and putting an end to its menace. With Ariel safe and the villagers freed, the trio takes a moment to reflect. They realize that even in far-flung, frozen places like Alaska, cosmic threats can still pop up. It's a good reminder that sometimes the real monsters can come from outer space, not just from the chilly terrain. In short, this episode just goes to show that even in snowy, quiet places, things can get rather intense. It's definitely the kind of place where you'd want to keep your sunsword close, just in case danger decides to show up again. Quick info. In 2004, Toynami manufactured action figurines of the three major characters. Episode 11. Portal into Time. Thundarr, Princess Ariel, and Ukla arrive at the Alamo, a small settlement that's facing a big problem thanks to this evil wizard named Crom. The folks there are trying to defend themselves using this old robotic defense system, but there's a catch. The system's main control circuit is totally shot. Without this piece, all the robots are just sitting around useless while the villagers are left in a tough spot. Ariel quickly gets the idea that if they're going to fix the defense system, they need to find a new circuit to replace the broken one. There's just one issue. That crucial piece doesn't exist in their messed up post-apocalyptic world. So, the three of them hatch a bold plan. They decide to use Crom's magical moon dial to open a time portal and go back to a time when the circuit was still around. Let me tell you, travelling back in time is no picnic. It's more like running through a bunch of obstacles in a totally strange place. Thankfully, they meet this sharp young girl named Samantha. She knows her way around and turns out to be a huge help in this strange time they've landed in. With her guidance, they manage to track down the exact circuit they need to fix the robots. Once they grab the part, they dash back to their own time. When they get back to the Alamo, they install the new circuit and are just in time. Crom decides to attack right then, but the robots flicker back to life just as he makes his move. It's like the robots have been waiting for this moment, and suddenly everything changes. Now, Thundarr isn't one to just sit on the sidelines. He dives straight into the action with the robots, swinging his sunsword and ready to battle. You can see just how brave and strong he is as he stands up against Crom's minions. He really proves his worth as the hero everyone looks up to in this wild and crazy world. This episode mixes exciting time travel with a really uplifting message. Even when everything seems broken, there are pieces from the past that can help us fix things and stand strong. It shows that sometimes looking back can give you the boost you need to move forward, especially when you're dealing with robots. And honestly, who would have thought the Alamo would get a sci-fi twist? It's definitely a fun twist on a classic landmark.
Thundarr?
Episode 12. Battle of the Barbarians. Thundarr, Princess Ariel, and Ukla find themselves in Chinatown, San Francisco. Things are looking grim since the wicked wizard Kublai is causing all sorts of problems for the local residents. He's on the hunt for the golden scepter of the Yanzi, a powerful object that's said to be able to take away his own magical powers. If this scepter ends up in the wrong hands, it could lead to a whole heap of trouble. So, it's up to Thundarr to step in and prevent Kublai from getting his hands on it. Kublai isn't too happy about Thundarr messing up his plans, so he brings in a heavy hitter of his own. Enter Zogar, a fierce warrior whose only goal is to take Thundarr down. When these two face off, sparks fly. The fight is nothing short of epic, filled with jaw-dropping moves and determination that keeps viewers on the edge of their seats. This clash is about more than just winning a battle. It symbolises the long-running struggle between good and evil in a messed-up world that has seen its fair share of chaos. While all this is going down, Kublai is still out there looking for the golden scepter. The tension ramps up with every passing moment as the villagers' safety is on the line. You can feel the intensity of the situation, because it's clear that what happens next will change everything for the people living there. The episode really drives home how the misuse of magic can destroy the lives of innocent folks, forcing them to fight back just to keep going. Setting the story in Chinatown brings a vibrant and rich backdrop to the episode. It gives a special flavour that makes the fantastical elements more relatable. It's a clever mix that makes the conflict feel all the more real and urgent, as you can picture the real people and their struggles in this familiar setting. In the end, the episode shows that bravery and teamwork can conquer even the darkest threats. Thundarr and his friends prove that even when the world feels shattered and scary, standing up against tyranny and fighting for what's right can keep hope alive. And let's be honest, seeing a fight where both strength and magic are at play is just plain fun. Who doesn't enjoy a thrilling showdown packed with excitement? Trivia time. Warner Home Video's Saturday morning cartoons 1980s collection series included the first episode of Thundarr the Barbarian on DVD. On May 4th, 2010, the DVD set, which included episodes of 10 additional shows, was made available. Episode 13, Den of the Sleeping Demon. This episode pits Thundarr, Princess Ariel, and Ukla against Judag, a power-hungry man who was once employed by a malevolent magician. Judag has come up with a risky plan to wake a powerful sleeping demon, thinking it will give him abilities that nobody else has. But waking up that kind of power is a bad idea and could throw their post-apocalyptic world into complete chaos. Thundarr knows he has to stop Judag before he can pull this off. Judag's ambition drives the story, showing how far some people will go to grab power, even if it means risking everything. You can't deny his boldness, but honestly, his choices scream bad idea. The tension ramps up as Judag gets closer to waking the demon. The stakes are sky high, but Thundarr and his friends don't just charge in without a plan. They think on their feet and work together to outsmart Judag in an epic showdown. Their quick thinking saves the day and prevents the demon from causing chaos. On top of all the action, the story digs into themes of ambition and betrayal. It's a reminder that chasing power without limits can be dangerous, especially when it involves messing with forces that should remain undisturbed. The moral here isn't just old news, it's about knowing when to back off. This episode's message still rings true. Overreaching can end badly, whether it's in magic or real life. If you ever feel tempted to reach for too much power, think of Judag's mess. It's a classic case of you should have thought twice. Overall, Den of the Sleeping Demon is a thrilling adventure with a relevant lesson all wrapped up nicely. Plus, it's always a blast watching Thundarr's crew save the day using a mix of smarts and strength, proving that brains can be just as powerful as brawn. Season 2, 1981 to 1982, Episode 1, Wizard Wars. In St. Louis, an old refinery has turned into a scene straight out of a fantasy nightmare. Here, a ruthless wizard known as Skullus has taken control and made local villagers his unwilling soldiers. Instead of enjoying a few moments of peace, these folks are caught up in a dangerous magical war, forced to fight as Skullus goes to battle with another sorcerer named Octagon. Think of it as a wild power struggle, but there's not a popcorn kernel in sight, just a whole lot of chaos. Right in the middle of all this are Thundarr, Princess Ariel, and Ukla. They're trying to navigate through the mess created by Skullus and Octagon, which has turned the once peaceful place into a dangerous battlefield. The villagers have really got no say in their fate. They've been dragged into a fight they never wanted to be part of. This episode doesn't shy away from showing us the harsh reality of how wizard fights can wreck everyday lives. What used to be a calm town is now gripped by fear, but amid all the darkness, there's a flicker of hope, something that shines through strong. The idea that people can band together, show courage, and stand against this oppression. Thundarr and his friends come together to take on Skullus's reign of terror. Their bravery doesn't just disrupt Skullus's plans, it also sparks a bit of rebellious spirit among the villagers. This isn't just a battle against magical bad guys, it's all about standing up for freedom and showing solidarity. When things get tough, the episode reminds us that it's the connections between people that can make the biggest difference. And if you thought that wizards were all about waving their hands and looking mysterious, this episode sets the record straight. Dealing with Skullus means stepping into a wild, magical showdown far from a relaxing day at a spa. In the end, Wizard Wars serves up a mix of action and emotion. It hits home the message that no matter how powerful the enemy might be, real magic happens when we all stand together against tyranny. It's a relevant lesson wrapped in magic, sword fights, and just the right amount of grit to keep you hooked till the end. Episode 2. Fortress of Fear. When the trio tries to help a runaway slave, they find themselves in a tight spot. They get caught by robotic guards working for a nasty, multi-eyed wizard named Lord Argoth. This guy isn't just your run-of-the-mill bad guy. He has some seriously disturbing plans. He wants to make Ariel his bride and use her powerful magic for his own twisted reasons. You really could not think of a worse proposal than that. After getting locked up in a creepy fortress, our heroes are up against a serious challenge. They need to break free and stop Lord Argoth from pulling off his dark plans. This fortress is built like a nightmare designed to crush anyone's spirit, filled with robotic guards and magical traps ready to pounce. The tension is sky high as they do everything they can to outsmart all the high-tech defenses the wizard has set up. At the center of this story is a big theme about freedom, especially Ariel's battle to keep control over her own life. It powerfully shows that having power without the right to choose is just another way of being chained up, no matter how it might look. Ariel's struggle is not just about magic, it's a deeply personal journey. Watching her become more resilient is genuinely uplifting. Thundarr and Ukla also shine through with their loyalty. They're willing to risk it all to save Ariel, showing a strong emotional side to the story. Their friendship adds a nice balance to all the sci-fi craziness. It really shows that no fortress, no matter how secure, can break the strong bonds of friendship they have. The suspense keeps ramping up, with near misses and clever tricks that make you sit on the edge of your seat. Lord Argoth's creepy nature and unyielding pursuit make him a tough enemy, but our trio isn't about to give up. The stakes feel very real, blending thrilling action with a deeper message about standing up for your rights and having the courage to fight. Fortress of Fear isn't just a magical rescue mission. It's a compelling tale about the fight for freedom in a world filled with dangers, both big and small. It also shows that when friends stick together, even the most terrifying fortress can't keep them apart. Interesting tidbit about Ariel Nellie Bellflower provides the voice of Princess Ariel. Ariel is a strong and attractive witch. Prior to meeting Thundarr, little was known about her except that she was the stepdaughter of Sabian, a malevolent magician. His library taught her about the history of Earth.
The transfer commence!
Episode 3. Island of the Body Snatchers. A trip to the Mystery Zone near the old ruins of London turns out to be anything but a chill getaway for Thundarr, Ariel, and Ukla. After noticing a weird string of shipwrecks, they look into it and quickly find themselves caught by Sorcery, an ancient witch hiding a nasty secret. Sorcery can't leave her island without turning to stone, so, like any power-hungry sorceress might, she steals Ariel's body with some dark magic and slips into it like it's an old jacket. This leaves Ariel stuck in Sorcery's crumbling body, which is definitely not the upgrade she wanted. Now it's on Thundarr and Ukla to figure things out fast. With Sorcery planning to escape the island in Ariel's body, time is running out. Not just for Ariel, but for anyone who might cross paths with this villain pretending to be their magical friend. What makes this episode interesting is more than just the rescue. There's a classic mythological feel. Sorcery is clearly based on the famous Greek sorceress, and the body switching brings in a creepy psychological twist. This time, it's not just about fighting robots or zapping evil wizards. It's a deeper look into identity and fixing magical mistakes. Ariel's battle in a strange body adds some real emotion, showing that a person's true strength comes from within, even when everything seems off. Meanwhile, Thundarr and Ukla have to trust their instincts to tell who's who in a situation where appearances can deceive. In the end, Sorcery's plan falls apart, tricked by the very magic she tried to use against them. They switch back just in time, and the island goes back to its quiet, cursed state. You could say she got stoned in the end, literally. Island of the Body Snatchers isn't just another Monster of the Week episode. It mixes myth, magic, and some lessons about friendship in a story that's both spooky and touching. Because in a world where anything can be taken, even your own body, having loyal friends just might be the strongest magic of all. Episode 4, City of Evil. Hidden in the ruins of Boston is the City of Thieves, a small but dangerous spot where pickpockets, bandits, and all sorts of troublemakers hang out. Even though it's tiny, this place is pretty high-tech and is run by Vortak, a guy with big dreams of taking over the world. Vortak doesn't fly solo though. He's teamed up with Sarot, a wizard who's got a serious grudge after losing to Thundarr before. Sarot's got his hands on a magic item called the Gauntlet of Power, which can amp up his spells and make the City of Thieves grow back to its old size. Just as things start heating up, Thundarr, Princess Ariel, and Ukla show up, realizing they have to act fast. With Sarot powered up by the Gauntlet, Vortak's dream of turning from tiny troublemaker to full-blown nightmare is close to coming true. This trio knows they need to stop this before Boston turns into a hotspot for evil. As they make their way through the city, no small task when you're regular-sized and stuck in a place built for little villains, they rely on their smarts, strength, and a bit of magic from the Sun Sword to outmaneuver Sarot and his crew. Ariel throws some clever spells, Ukla uses his growl and smash approach, and Thundarr, he charges right in without a second thought. In the end, our heroes stop Sarot, keep the Gauntlet safe, and prevent the City of Thieves from becoming a major threat. The nearby villagers can finally relax, for now. City of Evil mixes classic fantasy, futuristic tech, and some underdog bravery. It shows that even in a messy world, teamwork and a lot of shouting Ariel, Ukla, ride can really make a difference. Quick BTS before we dive in. Thundarr is voiced by Robert Ridgely. He is the main protagonist of the series. He is a barbarian who was once a slave to Sabian until he was freed by Princess Ariel and given the Sun Sword, which he uses as a weapon in his fight against evil wizards and other villains.
No! The flames will not take him!
Episode 5, Last Train to Doomsday. Get ready for a wild ride. This time, Thundarr, Ariel, and Ukla are chasing down trouble on a train, facing off against Janus, a sneaky criminal teamed up with the infamous Hawkmen. These winged villains aren't just annoying, they're wreaking havoc in villages, messing with trade, and making once-safe routes dangerous. Their target? A crucial transport train that's one of the last bits of normal life around. At the heart of the chaos is Tai, a brave young woman raised in the swamps, now driving the train. This isn't just any train, it's vital for getting supplies to people and giving some order to a messed up world. But there's a twist. Janus isn't really Janus. He's Gemini, the two-faced wizard who has a score to settle with Thundarr. Think of him as a trickster with a plan that involves some serious explosions. He's looking for revenge and is using his new pals and the landscape to set up traps along the way. As the attacks pile up, Thundarr and his team spring into action. Ariel uses her magic, Ukla charges through trouble, and Thundarr dives into danger like he's the only one who can save the day. With every twist and turn, they have to defend the train and its passengers while also standing for a brighter future. Tai proves she's not just a side character. Her local knowledge and fearless attitude make her essential to the fight. Watching her go from swamp dweller to train boss shows how tough people can be when they get the opportunity. The episode explores themes of betrayal, redemption, and vengeance. Gemini's return cranks up the drama, and the armoured train racing through a broken world symbolises the struggle to rebuild society, with the bad guys trying to drag them down. In the end, with teamwork and a lot of shouting, our heroes foil Gemini's plot and keep hope alive. Last Train to Doomsday shows that even in a tough world, a solid crew can keep things moving forward. Episode 6, Master of the Stolen Sun Sword. In this episode, Thundarr has a rough time thanks to a wild twist of magic. While battling the sneaky wizard Yando, Thundarr gets hit by something called red negative lightning. It's not just a zap, it weakens his trusty sun sword, which he counts on to fight evil and look tough doing it. With the already flickering sun sword, Thundarr and his pals race to the pool of power, the only spot left that can charge up his weapon. But of course, Yando takes this chance to steal the sword for himself. Now, with the weakened sun sword in his hands, he's got plans of his own. What follows is a tense chase through tricky terrain filled with traps and close calls. Yando isn't as strong as Thundarr, but he sure knows how to cause chaos. Thundarr and his friends have to think fast, relying on Ariel's magic and Ukla's strength, and some wise grunts, to outsmart the wizard. This episode touches on the idea of responsibility. What happens when a hero loses what makes them a hero? Thundarr, usually the one charging in, has to step back and lean on his friends. It's a bit of a humbling moment for him, but it shows that real strength is about trusting your team, not just swinging a sword. On the other hand, Yando serves as a warning about power in the wrong hands. His desire for the Sun Sword's magic highlights the dangers of misuse, a theme that feels really relevant today. After a bunch of close calls and an intense fight, they manage to get the Sun Sword back and recharge it at the pool of power. Thundarr is ready to go again, sword glowing, and prepared to defend the world from whatever comes next. Master of the Stolen Sun Sword shows how important Thundarr's weapon is and serves as a reminder that even heroes need help sometimes, especially when their sword is on empty. Also, it's probably wise to steer clear of red lightning. On this note, it is worth noting that the show started airing again on NBC in 1983 to replace reruns of The Jetsons, 1962, and it was partnered with a Heathcliff, 1980, animation until it was discontinued in 1984. Episode 7, Trial by Terror. In Trial by Terror, things take a wild turn for Thundarr's pal, Thorak, who finds himself in some serious hot water, literally. He's accused of stealing vital fuel from a village and faces an extreme punishment, being boiled over a geyser in public. Clearly, this village doesn't do things by the book. Thundarr, always ready to help a friend in trouble, jumps in just before Thorak becomes soup. He's not buying the quick trial or crazy punishment, so he teams up with Ariel and Ukla to see what's really going on. Turns out, there's some shady stuff happening, and it's not just the geyser. After some digging and a few fights, they discover that the village sheriff, Korb, is involved in a scheme. He's not just a tough lawman, he's working with a wizard named Artemis, who's up to no good. Artemis is the one who stole the fuel to power his massive death ship, which he plans to use for taking over the area and impressing the Council of Wizards. Classic villain moves: steal stuff, pin it on someone else, and build a dangerous ride to flex. While the episode has plenty of action and magic, it also tackles some heavier issues. It looks at false accusations, abuse of power, and corruption. Sheriff Korb shows what happens when authority lacks integrity, while Thundarr and his friends stand for loyalty and fairness. With some smart detective work, tough confrontations, and Ariel's magic, they clear Thorak's name and take down Artemis and his crazy death ship. With the truth out and real justice served, the fair kind, not the boiling kind, things calm down for now. Trial by Terror is a mix of suspense, magic, and some important themes. It reminds us that even in a messed up world of wizards and villains, fighting for what's right is the best move, and maybe rethink any justice system that involves geysers. Episode 8, Prophecy of Peril. In Prophecy of Peril, things get intense as a new villain, Vashtar, enters the scene. He's a dark wizard who loves drama and has a knack for stealing magical artifacts. His latest target, the Crystal of Prophecy, which can show glimpses of the future. Sounds cool, right? Until it reveals he's going to be defeated. Vashtar isn't happy about this news and tries to destroy the prophecy. During his frantic effort, the crystal shatters, but the vision is already set in motion. Thundarr, Ariel, and Ukla jump into action, eager to find the three women mentioned in the prophecy before Vashtar can. They first visit the ruined city of Endor, where they find Maya, a powerful elemental trapped under rubble. Once freed, she brings some serious nature skills to the team. Think earthquakes and whipping vines. Next, they head to the Canyon of Death to find Cinder, a fierce warrior with a magical staff and a fierce attitude that could scare anyone off. The last one is Valerie Storm, a former fashion model who is now stuck as Vashtar's prisoner. Don't let her past fool you. She's tough and has the spirit of the old earth, a part worth fighting for. Together, these three women team up with Thundarr, Peril, and Ukla to take down Vashtar. The episode builds to a big showdown that's both magical and meaningful. Vashtar makes the mistake of underestimating the prophecy and the power of teamwork, which turns out to be his downfall. Prophecy of Peril isn't just about a magical fight. It dives into themes of destiny, teamwork, and strength. Each woman brings her own unique skills and stories, showing that heroes come from all walks of life. The episode ends on a high note, with magic flying, friendships growing, and a clear message. When courage and teamwork unite, even the darkest futures can change. And maybe wizards should think twice before trying to outsmart ancient prophecies. It never ends well. You know why the show was cancelled? Gary Marshall intended to use the time slot to screen animated versions of Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley, and Mork and Mindy. Therefore, he cancelled Thundarr. Conclusion: after dealing with cursed islands, wizard battles, body-swapping chaos, and the odd mutant gorilla uprising, it's clear that Thundarr the Barbarian isn't your typical Saturday morning cartoon. It's a fun mix of post-apocalyptic craziness and heroics, where each episode brings some new magical mess or ancient beast to face down. Our trio shows that you need brains, muscle, and a sunsword to keep civilization, just barely, rolling. Peril uses her smarts and spells to hold the team together. Ukla hits first and asks questions later. And Thundarr, he's all about the dramatic shouts and solving most issues with a big jump. In the end, it's not just about taking down evil sorcerers, it's about teamwork, fighting for what's right, and somehow managing all this without Wi-Fi or indoor plumbing. And honestly, that's pretty brave.